My Porsche Cayman is starting to finally look like a Porsche Cayman. And as some of you will probably know by now, the car hasn't always looked like this.
Won? We first crashed on his car, mine's the GTO.
And back in May 2024, when I actually won this Cayman at a Copart auction, this is what it turned up like, and as you can see, it's been in a pretty bad front end collision.
And in the last video, I finally got the car looking more like a car again. But looks can be deceiving, because although the bumper looks like it's on, I still need to take it back off and sort a few bits out. Because as you can see on this bumper, it's hanging down in the corner because I need a plastic block to hold it up. And it's also missing the wire and loom, which is here in bits, and I am going to repair it. I'm just waiting for parts. But the outside wasn't the only thing that was severely damaged on this car, because there's a few things I need to sort out on the interior. Steering wheel airbag.
Dashboard airbag.
Dashboard. Cup holders. Seat belts. And finally, the passenger window glass. Or the fact that there isn't one in it. And in order to fix most of those problems, a lot of the interior's got to be stripped out. And with the dashboard being such a big job, the first thing I'm actually going to do is take the seats out, take all the rear plastics off and get those seat belts out.
Now the seats are out the Cayman, it's time to jump in the back and start removing more of the interior trim to get access to those seat belts. As some of you may know, the Cayman is a mid-engine car, meaning the engine is behind the driver. So in order to gain access to the bolts that hold the plastics to the inside of the car, I've got to remove the engine cover. Then after that I can start working my way around the interior, taking all the bolts out where I can find them, and then slowly stripping the plastics down. Because I don't really know how to do this, I'm kind of figuring it out on my way through and looking at what plastics overlay each other so I know what panel to take off first. So at first glance, when I was looking at the interior trim, I thought they pulled out from back to front. But actually, after assessing it, I've realised you've got to take the front A-pillar trim off and work your way backwards to get this seatbelt trim off. With some of these plastic trims, it's just a case of pulling it until you hear a pop or a snap and hoping that the clip's popped off and it hasn't snapped off the plastic. But sometimes you could think you've got all the bolts out, give it a good pull, and then realise there's still a tab somewhere in one of the corners, and by then it's usually too late. One thing that makes this task very difficult is I'm very cautious about snapping any of the interior plastics because 1, I don't want to have to buy replacements, and 2, it seems a shame to damage something that isn't already damaged. The channel is so close to 15,000 subscribers, so if you like what you've seen today, why don't you jump down below and hit that subscribe button and help me get to 15k. Even though Porsche did a fantastic job of hiding most of these bolts, I've managed to get everything out without snapping any of the plastics. And of course, just my luck, the trim I need to get out is the last trim piece to take out, or the first one to put back in. So now I can access the seatbelt, I need to remove the detonator connector, the seatbelt lower anchor bolt, the seatbelt mounting bolt, and then the seatbelt itself. Now that's the seatbelt and all the interior trims removed from the Cayman.
So that is now both seat belts out. And here they are, and if you're confused as to why I had to remove the seat belts, when an airbag goes off in the car, the seat belts have these little connectors on them and these little explosive devices that lock the seat belts out. Now I know the person who crashed was wearing their seat belt because it's stuck at that length, but because they lock out with the explosive devices, you either need to get new seat belts or you can get them reset. So I'll send them off, someone will disassemble them all, change the little explosive device on the inside, possibly retrim them depending on what I ask them to do, then they can send me them back, and we can get them back in the Cayman. So I need to get those seatbelts boxed up and sent off, but I need to find someone who's going to rebuild them for me first. And I'll be honest, I massively underestimated how much I was going to have to take out just to get them seatbelts out. Because I thought it was just going to be the top panel, the bottom, and then they pop out, but I had to take the upper A pillar off, to get the rear B pillar off, to get the back out over there, then that piece with the big buckets in, and then I could get to the seatbelts, but that's both sides taken off. But anyway, now that those seatbelts are off, the next thing I want to tackle is the passenger side door, because it has no window. Now, I've never took a door card off a Porsche Cayman before, so let's figure it out together.
So this end cap looked like it was hiding something, and luckily enough there was a bolt under it, so I think I'm off to a flying start. Now at this point I'm just trying to go around the door and try and find anything that could potentially prise off or pop off to see if there's any bolts behind it or if there's any clips I need to pull on. I worked my way up to the top of the door card by where the mirror is, and there was this little plastic cover cap that just pops off, and behind it was bolt number 2. Now that I've got another bolt out, it's back down below to see if I can find anything else under the door card or if it's just held on with push clips. And after prising it up and having a little look through my torch, all I can see around the edge on this bit are push clips, so I think that's all it is on the bottom of the door card. Then I realised when I went round the handle you can get your pry tool under it and it starts to move, which says to me that this handle is a cover cap, so I'll pop that off and behind it with 2 more bolts. Now those bolts are out, it's round 3 to try and pull it off again, and once again it felt like it was getting stuck and I couldn't figure out where. And based on where it was holding on, I decided to open the handle to see if there was anything behind that, and lo and behold, there was a cover cap. So I popped the cover cap off, behind that is the last bolt, took that out, and now it's just a case of pulling the door card and lifting it off. Now the door card's leant forward and basically off, I need to disconnect the handle cable, which is what opens the door lock, and then the connector that connects up to the window switch. Now the next job is to remove all the electrical connectors on the door, including the airbag, take out all the bolts that go around the metal plate on the inside, unbolt the window regulator motor and pull that forwards, and pop, lean the plate forward, and now I can get to the loom that goes into the door lock behind it. Now that all the electrical connectors have been disconnected, all I need to do is pull the loom through the holes where the rubber grommets are, get the loom off the plate entirely, and I can get the plate out of my way.
So I finally figured out how to get that door card off, and I'll be honest with you, that was a lot more awkward than I expected it to be. But now that everything's off, I need to remove what's left of all the smashed glass inside the door from the accident, and then we can get that open and finally get a window back in this door.
As you can see, automotive glass breaks into thousands of little pieces during an accident. This is so it doesn't break off into big chunks and potentially stab you during a collision. Now this is good if you're ever in a car crash, but it's an absolute pain if you've got to clean it up. Even though this glass is in small, tiny chunks, they're still very sharp, so I'm going to have to remove the glass carefully by hand, the big cluster bits, and then get the rest of it with the hoover and hope it gets it all out. After hoovering it, I put my camera in just to see if there's any more glass in the door, because if there is, it'll rattle about when the car's finished. And I noticed there was bits down in the corner here that I couldn't quite get to, so I decided to put my safety glasses on and get the airline in the door and blow out all of the little bits of glass that I couldn't really get to with the hoover. And I'm glad I did this because I noticed that under the panel next to the door was a load of glass still there, so this airline managed to get it all out from under there, and the hoover got all the glass out the door, so it shouldn't rattle around when it's finished.
After using a mixture of the hoover and the airline, all the glass is now out the door, and all the drains are free as well, because the biggest thing is I didn't want to leave any glass in here in case it blocks the drains. Then the door fills up with water comes through the seal, soaks the carpet. You're not going to have a fun time. But if you look on the window regulator, you can see there's this bracket and this bracket, and these bolts are what hold the clamps here, which actually grab the base of the glass, and there's still some of what's left of the old glass in it, so I need to take that bolt out, clean the glass out, and then I can get the window dropped in.
So the window clamps have a rubber insert to stop the metal from pressing against the glass and potentially smashing it. Because of that, the rubber over time has essentially glued itself to the glass, so I've got to take the inserts out, scrape off the glass on the inside, and then refit them when I know they are clean. Now I know they're clean and they've gone back in, I need to hoover the rest of the glass out the door, and then I can get the glass. Just like the first wing I tried to fit, which was wrong. I bought this glass 2 years ago, so I'm hoping that what's in here is actually right. It was marked up as a Porsche Cayman 987 glass, so it should fit. And If all else fails, I managed to get myself a free Sharpie because it was sellotaped to the back of the cardboard. But now it's time to get the glass out the cardboard, see if it's right, and if so, get it fitted. And this time it looks like it's the right part for my Cayman. So to fit the glass, I'm going to get it through the seal on the door and then get it resting in those clamps that I've just shown you. But I'm not going to tighten them up yet, because I need to set the glass up to the frame of the car and then tighten it all up to make sure everything sits where it should. And to do that, I'm going to temporarily fit the window regulator motor so I can actually control the window up and down from the driver's switch, because there's 2 window switches on the driver's side.
So now the glass is resting in loosely, it's firm but loose. And when I close the door, operate the window switch from the driver's side. This isn't necessarily the right way to do it, this is just the way I can think of doing it. So close the door, put the window up on the driver's side switch because that's still connected. Now when the window's up and against the A-pillar and up against the rear window, I can manually push it to where I want it to be. Come back inside, tighten the 2 bolts up and we should be good to go. Ooh. Ah. See how we're looking. Ooh. It's this back corner I'm worried of, because these Cayman windows, if you get them wrong, say on the 911s, they will smash the rear quarter glass. And we don't want that. So this is the driver's side and this is the gap I'm trying to attain between the window to what I've managed to do. It's a little bit bigger, so the whole window needs to shunt backwards. So you'll just see me there messing around with the window, and like I explained, I said about this gap, and now I've moved it over. I've got it almost perfect, and I've plugged the lock back in on the inside. I'll open the door and show you now, because on the Caymans, when you pull the handle, the window drops to get it past the A-pillar. So pull the handle, see the window drop, the door opens up, it's all in, it's all nice and tight. They were the bolts I was tightening on the inside, and I think that's why they have the cutouts here. So maybe my theory of how I've done it is actually right. The 2 connectors down here are for the door handle, so when you pull the handle, the door knows to drop the window, and I'd say that is spot on. So now the window's back in, it works as it should. I'm happy with the position. I can finally get the door cart back on and make that a complete door again. But before I stick the door cart back on, we've got to add the window glass to the crossboard, and that passenger window cost me 50 Great British pounds. And now I know I've said it for a few items on here, but that is an absolute bargain. So now the window's fitted and I'm happy with the position, I'm going to have to take the window regulator back off so I can fit the door card plate, get all the loom back on and get everything knitted back together. Now that the loom's back in and everything's bolted back up, I want to do one more quick test from the driver's side just to make sure everything works before I stick the door card on. And as you can see, I'm quite proud of myself for this. So now let's get the door card back on and get everything finished. I'm made up with that, because I won't lie to you, I was dreading doing this job because 1, I've never opened a window since I got it, so it could have been like the wing where it was wrong. 2, I hate pulling door cards off a car because you never know if the snap is it coming free or you've broke something. And 3, I hate leveling off windows and setting up window regulators. But considering all of that, not only was the window right, the door card was a bit of a pain to get off, but I got there in the end, and setting that window up was actually a lot easier than I expected too. And it fits an absolute dream, closes as it should, and seals the best way it can. So I'm going to class that as a win. And now the window's on, we're making steady progress. There is one more thing I want to do before I tie up this video, and that's remove the headlining. Hold on, the accident didn't damage the roof, so why are you taking the headlining off? Well, the accident may not have damaged the roof, but I did. And I think I did it when I took the windscreen out, and you can already kind of see, because of the hex lights, there's a few dents. There's one there, and then there's one next to it as well. There's a few dents just on the edge where I've leant against the roof like an idiot. So my plan of action is to take the headlining out and see if you can get to that from behind. If not, I think there's going to be a double skin panel there, so I probably won't be able to, but I'll have to find someone who does a paintless dent removal and pay them to get them out, because this idiot put them in. Now this idiot's going to have to get the headlining out and see if I can get to it from behind. Yeah. Now if you look at the headlining from inside the car, there's a sun visor there, home link I think it's called. You press these buttons and it either opens your fancy gate or your garage. I haven't got to worry about that. And this light, and I think once you've got these out, the main bulk of what holds this headlining in is off. So there's no clips or fixings around the edge, or even trim for that matter, so should be able to just pull it down once I've got all of this out. Removing the headlining was simple. There's just 4 bolts, 2 on each visor. Got to pop the light out, pop the home link out and disconnect both of them, and the headlining just pulls down. Then you've got to pull it down from the back, and that's it. Well, that's not looking too promising, so unless I've got an angle grinder and a spare roof skin, I don't think I'm getting behind there. And on that note, I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to get the seatbelts boxed up and shipped off, get them rebuilt, reset and retrimmed. I am going to get them changed in terms of the colour. I just don't know what colour to change them to yet. And the passenger door now has a fresh glass in it, so it's a complete door once again, and it works perfectly, and the alignment is spot on. I mean, I can't believe I got it that well first time, to be quite honest with you. And I know the inside of the Cayman is probably looking a lot worse than it did when I first got it, but you've got to move backwards to move forward sometimes. I think I've got a lot done today. More because I had to do a lot more than I expected to get those seatbelts out. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you like what you've seen today, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you get an update every time I post a video. And I'll see you in the next one.
Afraid to turn out the lights.